is a lot into beer. I want to say a very big thank you to all of you. Rich, Saturday in preview.
Sure.
But matches ni bi ebaso. Paris Saint-Germain at Nefie share Angers by a goal to 0. Almost say better, my boys. It was a Paris Saint-Germain winning over 1.5. Ousmane Dembele say penalty. Only Paris Saint-Germain. And you see, the way I Paris Saint-Germain playing on the first game, not in the initial game, was French League Adimono. I'm resting most of the players. I was very confident, and the data shows that if Paris Saint-Germain playing at home, they get more goals. No, Ousmane Dembele and penalty, no Aseno. Spoiling, it was in almost all the slips. No Marcelo. But of course, Paris Saint-Germain won by a goal to 0. It was just a goal from our brand friend Fabien Louis. Did you see the image of our brand friend Gianluigi Donnarumma after the game? Players need to call fans to say goodbye or say thank you. I don't know exactly what they are doing. Rich Unim, football clubs intiname means mutino. When football clubs are sacking a player, they try to make it look like or a hero. But say club player nankasa no see on there or no so pro nankasa can no be free on ma. Look at what Liverpool fans were saying when Trent Alexander-Arnold wanted to leave. Sometimes I'm
a traitor.
They're a traitor. Who move on from him? You move on without thinking about his family. But on one hand, so Coco Bonne Braco Pesca Cra, and move you on to the next level, and then you're a traitor.
Oh, boyhood, I clap.
You see,
why do you leave?
Boy,
you're more a trend.
Sir,
and then you're only now do baby. Also, you are moving on. I'm Real Madrid.
I'm going to do a bigger offer, but I'm going to make bigger credit. I'm going to say, Yenko. Gianluigi Donnarumma Nankasan, Ofri AC Milan by. It was his boyhood club too. He felt like he had to make the next step. But in the football business and in the world of business and economics, sometimes it's like that. It's Gianluigi said a goodbye to Les Parisiens. I don't know which club he's going to go to because still
the Roman the contract are running out.
And running out. And running out.
There's a coffee say Hana Sadi will see ya.
Yeah.
Kaminu Nebeka.
I'm
sometimes this uncommon so as in clubs, emotions,
But Rich, the difference is that they are Paris Saint-Germain Bejiska.
But the saying
no, but
because now it's clear. Abranton on come.
Yes, Rich. Yeah, the problem is say you team players 18 ko one city carry nyibi. No, bakun ko Bejiska.
No, me nya na me hwe.
Yeah.
Me hwe Abranton say yam fan say so na no. Ebi asenye sa seminasi.
Yeah.
Ana Paris Saint-Germain is okay. Abranton say obiara ba ana offer bi be na kwa.
Yeah.
Me sure say nka offer na beba no.
Yeah.
Ba to table Quebec.
Ebi and Quebec bigger.
But now as a omu treating Abranton as if we surplus requirement.
But the coach says he surplus to requirement.
But say ten the price so.
But Rich, you see, sometimes also coaching the leader of the technical team. So see planning to be mama and not even that for me say Ghana cramp mini problem. Okay, Ogum saying Semba. I kept on saying say Ogum the your coach. Not so say player be ain't to be money born I don't have a problem. But I'm far will now question Ogum. And that's why coaches lose their jobs. Inti Luis Enrique say on where Lucas Chevalier no pay. Offer Chevalier in one and far. If it doesn't work with Chevalier, they also employ him to ask him questions and probably sack him from the club.
No going to be an internal.
I think that they could have handled this better. That I agree with you.
Oh, the woman in Trabent.
Yeah.
So catch him.
Yes, they could have handled it better.
On Trabent, not new go to Panama. Yeah. On them.
Yeah.
I mean,
they could have handled it way better.
They almost handle issue.
They could have handled it better. And see, I mean, Gianluigi Donnarumma is going to move on. And we are buying for you to Mreofi. 6 goals to 0. And it was an interesting game now buying for a boy. Now, Hurricane Eshe goal. Luis Diaz Eshe goal. It was a starting lineup of Serge Gnabry right behind the striker, Harry Kane, Michael Luis Diaz, and they won by 6 goals to 0. It was a game not Xavi Simons Ebum, but then he didn't score. He wasn't even the best player on the field of play. Bayern Fon were way better than them. After the game, Andy Ekano, Max Abel said almost attackers, but they won't pay any crazy fee to anybody. they will pay a minimal amount of money and then make sure say omenya omo pay hono. Then to this one at the London Olympic Stadium. Not make us say we are no pay. I think say this was the very first time Enzo Maresca echo into a game. Psychologically, he was going to be tested as Obia Onoye favorite to automatically win. Which means from last season, now Enzo Maresca and Chelsea team underdogs bisa. Even in the lead up to the top 4, it was sort of an underdog story. The numbers were that Nottingham Forest can qualify out of Chelsea, Newcastle can qualify out of Chelsea. It was more like an underdog story. Then they ended up getting that job done. Qualifying for the top 4, going on to win the Conference League, and then went to the Club World Cup. This season has started in a different way from Maresca and Nemnantiel, in the sense that now they are not an underdog. Ubisa Obia Beka say, oh, near Chelsea, say at least league record Otimia, about top 4 there, and it's all break a qualify. So it has become a different story. Then they went on to go and play against Crystal Palace. I remember say on Monday, I make catch say system na Crystal Palace boy. It was the best way to stop Enzo Maresca's ball progression. And also with the fact that Chelsea lacked the presence of certain profiles only important in build-up play and creating chances. No, it was always going to be difficult. And going into this game, starting lineup the banner, not Kopama womb. It was Robert Sanchez, Gusto, Trevor Chalobah, Tosin Adebayo, Marc Cucurella, Moises Caicedo, Enzo Fernandes, Pedro Neto, Kopama, João Pedro, any Abrantes and Liam Delap, and then Chelsea starting lineup. Reach just about 10 minutes to the game starting. Any young in here, say Kopama F. Philip Bibika Krebi on a groin. And Uti Wakachi team doctor and they say Ombo. Rich. In fact, this was the report. And you Kopama and the Kachi team doctor and they say Ombo. When he said he had felt that, the doctor sent the report to Maresca. And the Maresca can say so or Philip Bibia and Mama and Omo free. No for my mission. And this is the second time Maresca is doing this. Rebecca in the Club World Cup. Rhys James a warm up. So about a good game. Immediately, obviously, Rhys James a Philip Bibi. Then Enzo Maresca pulls him out, precautionary, and then brings in Andre Santos. Santos comes in and then delivers. It tells you where Maresca is coming from. Say, I said, this season and last season, he doesn't want to take chances with the players' injuries. No? And he can have said a lot of the things that will happen this season will come down to the fitness of players. Which the onus fell on no Enzo's Maresca to come up with a plan to stop West Ham for no. Obi Oshema Chimiabekacho said in the opening minutes of the game, West Ham was super. Yeah. Very good. And I liked their high press, aggressive press. No? And no more pepe to say Crystal Palace. So last week, Mekacho said Palace want to press in a 5-2-3. They be Chelsea build up on a tactical border. Niame can say Chelsea build up in a 3-2. Into 3 centre backs, 2 midfielders to receive the ball in the first phase, and then the rest to progress the ball. In this case, Palace decided to match our numbers now, and then press Chelsea in the first line, man for man. And until Obia nobody more who come Obia say Palace for number man Fiifi one too crowded. In the Chelsea for 18 years being passing ball, what we call the passing lanes no, were blocked. So how then do you manage to deal with Sanya Maneman in the middle of the park and get a job done? Rich, you're a game against West Ham United. Now, Graham Potter has started with the same plan to also press Chelsea in a clogged midfield. Make sure that Chelsea passing lanes will be blocked, and then they will prevent Chelsea from receiving the ball in dangerous areas. But 2 things that West Ham did not do well is that outside centre backs were not as aggressive as Crystal Palace. And then 2, Enzo Maresca had a plan. What was the plan? Rich, Mekai said in the game against Palace, you both game new. Obi, you follow me on Twitter, Biano will see that I tweeted that I saw the little tweak that Enzo Maresca did in the second half. Remember Mekai on Monday. Say in the second half, Obi, Kopama, Moises Caicedo, every Fiifi you want them. I didn't make back line on Rich. Okay. So on Monday I told you say he was this guy said of Fiifi. I didn't make back line on. It's in Kaba press it with 3 players, man for man. And I'll show you on the tactical board. If you go to the tactical board, Nippon air build it with a back three. More like a 4-3-3. So Tabona back three ni say no. And now pressing with a 5 back. 5 back now kita now the pressing. One pressing almost everybody up top like this. Then on the side is okay. Me midfielder no hano. Me two in the manage na two ase. But me midfielder ni me yina ba ba ka etiri ase ho. I'm on some about 5. It's what it means is that so all pressing with a trainer, you would have to stretch the play. It won't be my park on any too constricted, any too compact, and they will be able to play from there. Rich, and my game will be here pinting, and then this very, very good chance fell to a brand here, your friend Lucas Paqueta. So she gave me be not say when your goals now, I will analyze all of the goals for you one after the other. It's a bit my journey as on Facebook, so it's your radio. So we to analyze the goal, win a year, when you win a year, sir, they will move on from there. Rich, who was at fault in this goal? Who's a Stavon a quiet flick in the weekend? And I like Assembly and Zomariska count at the game. Also, what to say, Obia Caso Estavon in Bo, Estavon Yadi, and Okrestava Yadi. But what he wants to say that, a young player, and he has to understand Adebia Omo football tacticians, no friend risk reward. And even in life, risk reward is important. Because Abia Pesa will flick it, Abia Pesa will change, Abia Pesa will tiny. But zone now, yes, Adian, say, Bukema. You put your team in trouble. Yeah. And that's exactly what happened in the lead up to this game.
You don't do that.
Yeah. It's just about Unye, Ekobukem, and a Paqueta far board. Now, it is in the zone where Cabal is supposed to come back and come and defend on no Paqueta. It's in our Moses guy said on him, say, Uncle, so on you know, so Uncle, on you know, and a Uniaso. He was not set at the right place.
Sure. Because that time, Chelsea in the Kutaba more attack.
Yeah, it was abandoned.
Probably abandoned. Yeah. And as someone who can Kaime Nations Cup no. Yeah. Obeka Afcon. Yeah. Inaki any Egypt no. Yeah. Yeah. Come on back pass bia. Kubuke mo onko fu di coach.
It was a stylistic blessing ya. Coach bi o come on pe omo. And it's go fu bebre esuro Ryan Cherky at Man City. Because one thing your Pep will force him to just pass the ball. Sane twetwe na no twetwe wo Leon no.
Estevao no, I think also buy no.
Yeah.
So the kind of reception that Chelsea fans demand now. I don't know Philip big. Yeah. What the done over crack again. Yeah. Asivile no Messi, Ronaldo bina. EBMT as a I didn't see Kaka. I know as well already. Oh yeah. What is the Premier League?
And that's the thing. I like the fact that see Enzo is being straight up and honest to him. Say, ball running ball. But I don't know.
Exaggeration.
You don't do too much. And now, share what he did in the game. He was super. Sure. He won the man of the match. But that's an excellent ball.
Me blame
center backs no.
The center backs and the goalkeeper. All man space.
Chaloba. Oba. I don't know who this player is, but Unyaba per player and I want to. It's Chaloba. I don't know. Maybe Tosin, but Tosin also.
So close. You're close enough.
Anna Sadio. Rich. Me am a boss center back. Bobby saying, they say a center back, you step up. Who
go via Ujinawi? Boss center back.
Obi oni mi bia ni me a solid baller and there and ya feel be do watching everybody that knows me
Obonwe
Kote unique
ai ini hono
ai Kote unique pack
players na no me say mo so 11
yes so 11 correct players
e be su te bench
ai
omo mte bench omo ye be say
omo dos bebri na dan na dan Yakobo Kumasi Media versus in so movie stars and nyem na me boy equalizer no and come ko boss 7 Vinicius Junior obi a me ka say Ronaldo me boss 7 but still na me adwuma
and catch him now here
say me the utility
tapping
whether
ya adwuma na wi na wo ko bo no tum no wodi be down so ko we dey enko
senior ye bie ba ku bi member unim Yakubu Aigbe
wo boss center back mate
senior unim Yakubu Aigbe ni ye bie ba ku bi man no Afcon na bo na ira or the striker you bie Aigbe ni ba bo na ira
ati amamu
now me having your professional. This is wrong. It's rich. That was a good goal from our brand here, your friend Lucas Paqueta. Rich, it took 9 minutes for Chelsea to look for the equalizer. I don't know for Chelsea fans, but when the Chelsea train nature for a while now, 2 seasons ago, Chelsea could fall by Fredo Bernardo Cueva. Now Bernardo Cueva no Jumana, you didn't buy some man say. Boa Chelsea in set pieces in both boxes. Say Chelsea a defender set piece. Say Chelsea air share from set piece. And I think that from the Club World Cup, I've ever seen Bernardo Cuevar's handiwork has come. And now also in a post-match analysis from Mark Kukurea. Kukurea say they have been training about these set piece routines on the training ground. And Bernardo Cueva is giving them the things that he has to give them. Rich, Chelsea stood as if they were going to play in a short corner kick. Kukurea pulled Lucas Paqueta to the line. Now, Kukurea a better for Lucas Paqueta. Just before somebody was born, and also Lucas Paqueta, Ebanechi. Obanechia, no about the first pole in this area. And only Lucas Paqueta, also Lucas Paqueta and him, Paqueta is trying to pull him away. Then Pedro Neto no hear the free kick can ball to Kukurea to pepe.
Sudden just is a mutai.
Yeah, what me against
Kukurea or both Kukurea.
No fleck
or the Nitina fleck Benechi.
And it is Bernardo Cueva. It's Bernardo Cueva. In fact, Kukurea said it to Sky Sports after the game, said almost two free kick set piece routines now. And Oman will say Arsenal tie a bomb. So they've also added it to them. Rich or Fleke pe unia pump. But see, I know that you like Liam Delap. Yesterday we spoke about who and how Chelsea should do the starting lineup up top. No, which Liam Delap stopping Abrante and Hermansen from coming. He will not get a lot of the plaudits, but he was very good. So that was the Chelsea equalizer from the third goal for me. It was down to two things. My former player Abrante and Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
No,
he did not track well, and also the press and counter press of Abrante and Trevor Chalobah. In again, so over ball, you know what I'm saying. Or then the 9 on himself 50-50 ball. On his Paqueta Pesobo. So he gives you the leg. Ubutu the 9 when you foul. One Butu is an advantage for him and he moves on. Once Paqueta did that, a very good ball, Abrante finished Joao Pedro Neto attack the far post and then got a job that made Pedro Neto same giri. I've said it several times here. I tried to be about a chair and I said it. And I need to test form. But when it comes to application, he is good and he did that yesterday. The third goal for me came from a brilliance in Estevao William. And this is where Obi Asher match not okay, Estevao is good. There is good potential coming in off the bench when Kopama is not there, stepping up in the game to get a job done. But Rich, another one. Look at this guy. Say Chelsea Ebo Liam Delapa. Ebia on share 40, on share 30. But he gives you center back or penny, center for penny, center backs. No, Hold play nicely. That's what he did here. Estevao managed to carry the ball in that area. Good riddance from him, and of course, played it across the face of goal. And Enzo Fernandez, Emmanuel, 3-1 in the first half. At this point in time, now Akoye Agbera, in the second half, it was just about getting players and minutes. It's a 3 point to Enzo Maresca. I'm not too focused about the scoreline. I'm focused about the reaction after going down by a goal to 0, and the reaction after the Crystal Palace draw, and then also Enzo Maresca tactically setting up a team to go in there and then give them the base to get a job done. I think so, it's a very, very good run for Enzo Maresca. 3 points, and it started and now we can know how on him.
And then Kagis are me being now to assume.
Send me and no first go and say, but it's the only tata on it there.
And now before the game, I mean, so some more guys or girls.
Yeah.
So I called one of them.
London.
Guys, and I'm catching so Uncle Western team. Now, on Mammy Jad Boring, Namden in Casa.
Okay.
On the phone, come on.
Oh, friend,
oh, yeah, phone.
Okay, FaceTime audio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quality, somebody, I am so English.
Yeah.
Tear the Abrofia. Yeah. Who is this now? Oh, this is Richardo.
Okay.
In share from Ghana, I say, I want to send out, go from King Kensu.
Okay.
And King Kensu.
Yeah.
Jad Boring, who something what to say. I'm so chairman, oh, yeah. Now ready a boko tie.
And then you need George Bewa.
Quarem to what the Bewa na brofone borna. Ufrikin kaso ya. Go to be some what to say. Tia kwan bi sam yen am so chairman so I can say dia. And you ready agbina.
Enya djuma di.
Nko fo na ba ya anom. Mtu muti mame.
Bi dem.
Akwa bia na no so Richard o da. Adjuma me wie.
Cha.
Nigeria boy who ko ya. 5. Kofi na me na ne. 5. Na Grand Porter.
Ma Porter de mama me says go ba.
Akwa ntimu ye sure so Lances go di coach. Sa akwa Grand Porter no. Just ojina touch line wa. Oni antino bia o.
Hey,
ya buna no ase ayi be se ayi Abi Clemente be se o jino mintim. Hey! What's up? Na jabo me se me fe ni biem da.
I only need komo bi.
Oh, maybe no.
Na so only nka wa oni pa.
Ah, na wo ka che me panim so wo dada.
What you ka che me panim.
Ye wie game no. We are no akwaje 5. Akwa no nye bruni.
I think say Mami preview the game. Weekend games to the 10th. After no game no